Our world continues to change and push us in ways we have not been challenged before. On this show, we talk about these challenges, how to be aware of them, face them, and overcome them in your life. This is David Waldas, creator of the Aligned Living System.
And I'm Nick Musica, Aligned Living Coach. Welcome to the Aligned Living System podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Aligned Living System podcast. This is David Waldas here with Nick Musica. Today we are talking about self-love and about reclaiming our abandoned self. I just had this great week in Key West with my youngest daughter, Ava. Really fun to go down there and spend the week there and spend a couple days in Miami and the rest of the time in Key West. And really beautiful. And it was interesting. While I was there, I kept getting these new downloads. And, I've shared quite a bit on here that over the last year and a little more than a year, I guess, I've been getting all these new downloads that we're integrating into the Aligned Living System. And it's gone through so many changes. It's now a 12-week program. And really, all of this fits right into week 2. Week 2 was about reclaiming our abandoned self, about calling back the parts of us that we let go of in order to survive our childhood, to think we had to let go of these aspects of ourselves in order to be out in the world and feel like a successful adult. And so we're going to talk a bit about that today. But the new edition is about self-love. And it's interesting when we go to that, we get to that point in our lives where we're like, I got to take better care of myself. I really need to exhibit some self-love. It's often transactional. And here's what I mean by that. We go, I'm going to get a spa day. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to get buy this bike that I've been wanting, whatever it is, but it's a gesture towards ourselves that says, this is how I'm loving myself, or this is how I'm letting myself get nurtured or taken care of. And it's a transactional thing. And so the download, and we'll play with it a little bit today. I'm excited to do a little bit of energy work with y'all, is that warmth that we feel, when we feel somebody really loving us, and there's this warmth that happens in our heart. And then, it radiates out of us and it echoes back to the person, and they often feel it, and people around us can feel it. We're going to talk about generating that ourselves, about not having to go out into the world to, as empaths that we often are out scanning and meddling with everything and creating these opportunities to feel love, but also fighting off the rejection or pushing away the things that don't feel like love. We're going to play today with generating the love inside of ourselves, letting that be the beacon that becomes a resonance that now draws in these other experiences and repels the other experiences. That if you've been through any of the programs, the tractor beam and the gift of rejection theory. When we're stabilized, we call in what matches us. And when we're not, like, this is gift of rejection that happens where it just isn't interested in us. We're not the bad guy to it, but we're just not very interesting anymore. Mm-hmm. And so, it's going to be a great conversation today. Welcome, Nick. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. And what I'm wondering most of all in this conversation is, when are you going to get that bike?
I know. It's funny. I just put new gearing on my road bike, and so I was actually out in the garage this morning doing some fine tuning on it, and I'll get out for a ride on it later today. So I feel like I got a new road bike, but yeah, the mountain bike is definitely it's around the corner. Was that foreshadowing? Did that sound a little bit like
there was a lot of generalization? Then all of a sudden, I heard the equivalent of surfboard. For you, right? It's like, here's how you really show yourself self-love. Treat yourself to things, surfboards, wetsuits.
Yeah, I guess. And then, maybe it's a transactional thing. Like, you go out and you buy yourself a Specialized Stump Jumper 29er. Trying to get more specific.
Yeah. I do agree that the best way to show yourself tough love, or self-love, not tough love, tough love. That's different. Would be to go buy a brandy new longboard. Yeah, that is the best way to do it.
There you go. Well, transactionally. But here's what happens, right? Is that when we do this in a way that's not transactional, where we're actually feeling this warmth inside of us, right? And then we naturally, we don't go, you know what? I haven't been taking good care of myself. I need to go do this. Or I feel worn down. I need to go do this. It's not coming from a deficit. It's not coming from a, self-care day. It's time. It's coming from a, you know what? I just need to take care of myself in this way. This is a yes for me because it feels resonant, and not because I haven't been taking care of myself, but because I feel that warmth inside me, and this matches that. It's resonant with me. And we often go see self love, self care as recovery
Yeah.
or
Right.
something that we really make a point to give to ourselves, rather than it just being like natural. "Oh, of course, I'm going to go buy that new stump jumper. Of
Right.
course."
Yeah. Of course, the longboard.
Or we go, you know what? My old bike, it's a 27.5, so the wheels aren't quite as big, and I'm riding on different terrain now, and so there's a lot of e-bikes where I ride that just you come around a corner and it's rutted out. I've already had a couple crashes because of that. Really, for safety, I need to go buy this. It's really the prudent thing to do, is to go buy this bike because it matches the trails where I'm at. It's a lot
Yeah.
safer. I've already crashed twice, and the second one was pretty bad, and so really, that's why I should do this. Versus, it's just resonant. It's just how it just feels like the right action.
So
And right,
funny.
that convincing, that going, how do I come up? And then we tell people around us, God, I think I'm going to get this bike soon because of these reasons. Not
Yeah.
because, well, it's just the right thing to do. It just feels natural.
Yeah. It's so funny to hear you or feel you shift from that residence of self-love to let me really rationalize. I'm going to really rationalize it now
Let me make it
versus
defendable.
yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny. It's even just when you're playing the role, there's a shift. It's funny.
Oh
It's
yeah,
funny.
I'll intentionally move into that part
Yeah.
of my energy, right? Where it's just
Yeah.
like, how do I defend this? How do I convince myself, make it okay, and then take the action I want to take?
Yeah. 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 No, no, no. I do deserve this. No, no, no.
Yeah,
This,
yeah,
I do need this for reasons. Yeah.
absolutely,
Funny.
absolutely. Yeah, it's so fun. So, this theme of self-love, it's running through everything. I'm seeing it on clients. Like I can just been getting messages at a very universal level that there's this coming back home piece.
Mm,
And week 2 of the 12-week program is all about that. It's a big part of it is reclaiming the abandoned self, which is really the parts of us, as I was saying in the intro, that we let go of in order to survive our childhood. Or like you were talking about this as you're rebranding, going from SEO is still something you offer, but
mhm.
moving really into coaching being your main thing now. And so you were talking about this a little bit beforehand. If you wanted
Yeah.
to share a little bit about that, think it's really an interesting orchestration of that reclaiming of the abandoned self.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for opening that up. Yeah. So I've spent the past, I don't know, week or so building an email list and reaching out to folks. And I had the want to start to develop a community. And so I was like, well, let me just go through the list of people that I've had contact with over the past year or so. And with the idea of, well, let's have a 4-week experiment, a Monday morning meditation. It's all but 4 weeks, and it's a half hour Monday mornings, PST, 7 a.m.
Can
And
people? This
that's
is going to come out on Tuesday, so can people join the other 3 weeks if they want to?
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and so how do they do that?
Can we put a link in the notes? Can we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
yeah. We'll do that.
Okay. So the folks can kind of sign up there. I'll add you to the list. You'll get a calendar invite. But as I was putting the communications together, I found myself really enjoying writing the communications, which back in 25, 30 years ago, undergrad writing was something that really got me excited. And
Hmm.
I didn't want to write for, I majored in journalism, but I had a job at a newspaper for about a week. It didn't work out. Not a good fit. But the art of writing, the self-reflection, the expression, making it work, snappy leads, like making it engaging before engaging was a buzzword.
Hmm.
All that stuff started to sort of flood back, and I found a different interest, a different level of interest in writing emails, writing LinkedIn posts, of all the things, right?
Rediscovering the joy of it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And a lot of I found, and I expressed this when we were chatting, a lot of what I found that I was doing is not reflected in marketing speak. It's in how you do marketing. Marketing is like, let's identify your target audience. Let's just define your personas and what are they interested in? What's the pain points, and all that works.
Mhm.
However, what I found myself doing was writing a lot for myself, something
Mhm.
that I wanted to hear, something that I wanted
Yeah,
to write about.
yeah. Rather than scanning and trying to figure out what your audience wanted you to talk about, like
Yeah.
it's coming from your
Yeah.
center, your core.
100%, 100%. And partially I got here because it was about 3 months ago where I sat down with a gentleman and we met for coffee, and I was talking about the Harrison and how it changed my world, and you rolled me through it and brought things to
The
light.
assessment of our preferences.
Yeah, yeah. And just a shit ton of self-awareness around it. And I was just like a little kid in a candy store talking about it. And at some point he said, before I finished, he said, okay, I want to do it. So, sign me up. And I was like, oh, so my excitement and enthusiasm
Yeah.
for the thing, whatever the thing may be, it's contagious. And it's either a match or it's not a match. And both are great. Both are perfectly good.
Yeah. It's either a tractor beam or it's a gift of rejection.
Yeah,
when you're clear and
right.
you're on it, people are either not interested or they're very interested.
That's it. And so I took that. That was a really a big awareness piece for me, which pushed me down this path of the coaching even more. And so
and really what it's saying is who I am and what excites me actually excites other people too.
Yeah.
And when I come from that core, from that resonance, from that authenticity, that's the medicine, right? That's is it. The tractor beam. And if
for
I
self
go
and others,
and go, oh, they want me to talk about this, or what can I say about this? It's and it's funny. I find that sometimes on podcasts, right, where people, if they want to try to direct too much to their audience versus us having a natural conversation, it's not that interesting, But if they let it be a natural conversation, like it really does, it becomes enthusiastic, it becomes resonant, it becomes all those things.
Totally. I mean, there was a day again, 30 years ago, I'm harkening back to the things that were fun that are sort of carrying forward, right? There was a day 30 years ago, I was on college radio, which was an alternative at the time. Do we still call it alternative? Pearl Jam, Nirvana, all that stuff. And there was a day we made it like hair metal Thursday or some shit for like an hour and a half. And there was like 4 or 5 of us in the studio just playing Twisted Sister and Rat and Motley Crue. And we were just having so much fun. Poison? Breaking the format, probably. Just having fun playing all of it, and knowing that we were breaking the traditional format of college radio, and we were just chatting in between songs on air. We got so many phone calls, and we got 0 phone calls. Like 1 was a lot, 2 was like, oh my God, I got 2 phone calls during my shift, right? We got a lot of phone calls, and it was because of how we showed up. And the enthusiasm of it wasn't relevant. Hair metal, what Motley Crue was not relevant to an alternative college radio station. And yet the response was fantastic.
Yeah. Because it was you guys.
Because it was us doing something that we were really actually enjoying and presenting that out. Yeah. Yeah. And so that lesson showed up with the Harrison. That lesson showed up when I was able to harness it with the emails, and you feel it. Like I'm writing it now, and as soon as I start to go, this isn't working. How do I make it work? No, go back to like feeling good about what you're writing. Write hot and then edit cold and fix what doesn't work at that point. But it really does, for me at this point, really need to flow out of me, or else it just feels very mechanical and unnatural.
Not worrying about how it's being received, not worrying about how much of yourself you're revealing.
No.
Really, the more the better.
And throughout all of this, another piece is there is an energetic signal of the work, of the things you create. And absolutely. And if it's done out of a negative emotion, you can expect that to come back. It'll boomerang back to you.
Absolutely.
And if you do it, say it again. Or fear, totally. But if you create in contrast to that, with happiness, with joy, with wanting to share, that also comes back.
Yeah. I think authenticity is the biggest part of it too. And quite often we get excited when we're authentic, right? Like the energy just lifts.
Yeah. It's cool. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. It's a great share, Nick. I appreciate it. And it is, and what I was saying when we were talking about it before, I said, it's funny. So many of these things that we call back are the things we let go of. One to survive our childhood, but the other one because we go, it's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to start taking on some adult things. And, and we start to go, I can't be a kid anymore. I need to stop screwing around. And then we interpret that as I need to let go of the things that are fun and exciting to me and do the stuff that's a lot less, like, well, this is fine. This is good. And then like to like really step into our adulthood, to like step into this place of a fulfilled adult, then it's reclaiming like, well, what really lights me up? And what do I want to express? Not what does the world want from me? What do I want to bring the world? And, it's a very different question with a very different answer and a
Yeah.
very different life that comes with that. And that's really fun that's been your exploration. And what is it? Well, it's self-love, right? Because if
Mm,
we have to recognize that who we are and what we're bringing has enough value in order to do that instead of what we've been told people want from us, right?
yeah.
And we go, well, who I am matters. What I have to say matters, and what
Yeah.
interests me matters.
Yeah.
And I love myself enough in that reflection that I can actually see that when I bring this from me out into the world, people are going to respond and go, "Oh, I like that. I want more of that. I want to be involved too."
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But if we go out and go, "Oh, where's the love?" You know, this feels loving. Let me engage with this. Oh, that doesn't. Let me push that away. Let me, yuck. Those people are awful. These are the good people here. Okay, good. Now I know I have my audience, but now we're in this little container because we're protecting ourselves from that versus let's light the fire inside of ourselves and let that express out and see what sorts from that.
Yeah.
And when it's that clear and that authentic and that charged with joy and fulfillment and often the excitement that comes with it, that self-expression,
Mhm.
everything's different.
Yeah.
Playing with I love the reclaiming the abandoned self. That was new this year and quickly became week 2. But adding into it this place where we activate the feeling of self-love, the warmth, the internal feeling that happens when we get it from somebody else. But we're getting it from ourselves, from our own connection with source, with God, with our energy. And that is self-love because there is no separation there. And so yeah, let's play with it. Anything else before we drop in and bring a little energy into this week's podcast?
Now let's do it.
A little
Let's do it.
deliberate energy, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Intentional. All right, so yeah, we'll just give you a taste of it. And so again, this is all part of the Line Living system, and so it's delivered over 12 weeks for a reason because it takes a lot to learn to stabilize in it. But we wanted to give you kind of a teaser, a taste of what it is like. And so I'm going to just take you through the consciousness lock. If you're not familiar with that, we're just pushing the world back, bringing all our awareness back inside, resetting it, and we're going to open up with all of our awareness on us instead of outside. Most people walk through the world like 90% external, 10% internal, where they're just scanning and reading everything and engaging with the energies of the world. And we're going to flip it. We're going to turn it on inside. So now 90% internally, 10% externally. And that has a profound experience. So if you haven't done that
Mhm.
before, that will be an interesting experience for you. And then we're not going to go through the rest of it, but when we go inside, we're going to activate all of us in our heart have this spark of divine love, with this self-love. And when we activate it, as I just played with this with Nick a few before we we got on the call, so I was talking about the downloads. What did you experience when we first did this, just to kind of give people a sense of what we're about to step into?
Uh, what would be a good way to describe it? It would. I mean, it's sort of like this warm, fuzzy feeling on from the inside out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then when we bring that, activate inside of us and let it radiate out of us, it creates a resonance and a harmony and disharmony, meaning that what's not in resonance with that, what wants to be in struggle, isn't so interested. What wants to be in that expression, that light, that loving feeling, gets
Yeah.
drawn in,
Yeah.
and it's clean. Yeah, yeah. So let's play with it then.
Okay.
So if you want, if you're driving, I don't recommend playing along, but you can just unless you want to pull over and set yourself up or pause this. But we'll start by just closing our eyes and just putting our hands out with the palms up and just pushing the external world back. There's us and there's not us. And yes, I know it's all us, but right now we're just recognizing that we're going to let everybody else's energy, everybody else's ideas, all these thoughts that are not resonance with us be on the outside. And what we'll do is just a second, we're going to close our hands into a fist, bring them under our lap. I'm going to picture this bubble just closing around the outside of us, just giving us this hard reset as we drop fully into our physical selves with our awareness. So as you're ready, just go ahead and close your hands into fists, bring them down to your lap as you drop fully into your physical self as that bubble seals over the top of the head, face, back of the head, heart, back of the heart, all the way around the body, below the feet. Just letting that silence come in. And as you do, we're just going through a hard reset. Resetting our internal system. So now with the hands still closed in fist, put one over your heart, one over your solar plexus, which is the area just below the ribs in the center of the body. And in just a second, we're going to open it back up. And now we're going to open up internally, connecting with ourselves instead of the external world. And so as we do that, go ahead and open up the palms, bring all your awareness inside yourself as we open up. There's more steps to this as we do the meditation in the class, but for right now, we're just going to focus on bringing our awareness into our hearts. And in our hearts now, there's this little spark of light, depending on how much in touch we are with a loving feeling, how activated that is. But we don't need the reflection from outside of us to activate it. We can activate it. And so we're going to ask all that beautiful light to come into that spark in your heart. And we're just going to watch it start to grow into a flame. There we go. Let that warmth, that loving feeling flow through your heart and chest. Notice how it just wants to run through every cell in your body. At the back and front. Radiating out of you. See if it can allow yourself to have a smile on your face. Recognizing that this connection with self, with self-love, it's a very clear feeling of self-love, this warmth, this uplift and energy. The spark of the divine in you that you can activate and you can learn to hold. It changes everything. Beautiful. From here, you can slowly open your eyes if you like and just see if you can maintain that by keeping your awareness in your heart, keeping it activated. And just see how you feel. Keeping your awareness home inside your heart. If we start to wander, we'll pick up other energies and start to resonate with those instead. And so it becomes our job now to bring our awareness inside, generate this beautifully activated heart energy, this self-love, radiate it out into the world, and it becomes contagious to others. How's that feeling for you, Nick?
This is fantastic.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, this is great.
And then those of us that are, the rest of the tools, we can pop out our fence line, do the center channel connection, Merkaba, spinning them. Whew, there we go. And then it really locks in, not losing awareness of our heart. You feel that difference when you pop
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then just becomes part of the system. And so really, really beautiful. In fact, the way the guides described it to me when it came in is that, they said that this is a keystone. Everything else has been the tools to hold and to create, but this is a keystone. When our heart is activated like this, we're in it, it puts everything else in the right frequency. It holds everything together. Because, when we're doing all those other aspects of you that are familiar with the rest of line living tools, we're kind of out in them a little bit, and then we're coming back to our center channel. But when we have our heart activated, it requires us to keep our awareness on it for it to maintain this activation. It changes everything. And so it really becomes the keystone to the whole line living system. Pretty interesting how they bring this in now. And they've been talking to me about, we're just going to keep dropping these tools in. And, just in time as we're getting ready to start the coaching program, it's pretty cool that week 2 just adjusted again. I'm glad I didn't update the workbooks yet because I keep having to rewrite them as this new information comes in. But yeah, so that is new staple in week 2 and really the keystone of aligned living now, which is fantastic to have it all just feel so powerful and how big we feel when we're activated like this. It's pretty remarkable how stabilized we are within ourselves. And then if we think about all the things we do, whether we're aware or not aware, to get this feeling of love from the world, when we already have it generated inside of ourselves, it cleans all that up, takes away all that transaction, and it just becomes about resonance. It becomes about bringing our love to the world, letting it be a blessing to the people around us, a blessing to us, and letting their love be a blessing to us and the people around us. And it becomes contagious and stabilized and generated through ourselves and our own connection to God, if you want to call it that, source, higher realms, activated. And it's substantially different. What's up, Nick?
No, I'm good. I'm
Isn't that
good.
great? It's such a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, if you're interested in learning more about this program, I'm putting together, I'm going to have another group program starting soon. Of course, I do take on one-to-ones here and there. And the Aligned Living Coach training, we're going to be starting late October, early November. And so if you're interested in learning to be a coach and developing all this, please email me. I'll be putting out an email. If you're not on our email list, get on our email list and just send me an email if and I can add you to it. But I'll be sending out all the information for the coach training very shortly. And of course, Nick's meditation's coming up these Mondays too. So we'll put a link in there to sign up for that as well. And yeah, everybody feeling pretty blissed out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then what's really fun about it too is because it feels so good, we go, I'm just going to maintain this. And I've been reading A Course in Miracles, and there's a line from the Course in Miracles that really jumped out to me. And it was talking about the way that we interpret other people's behavior and the way we interpret what's going on in the world. And those are our thoughts of interpretation. And the line goes like this. It goes, that thought is an attack upon myself. And so when we're maintaining this, right, and we're feeling this beautiful self-love, this warmth inside of us, and something happens around us, and we decide that there's something that we should be offended by, something that we should be outraged or upset or we didn't like, and we utilize somebody else's behavior or something going on in the world to abandon ourselves, abandon God, to let go of this energy, that the thoughts that we're having are actually an attack upon ourselves, not on the people that we're upset with. We're attacking ourselves by knocking ourselves out of this. And then there's another section in the Course in Miracles that I pulled another line from. And so if I find myself starting to go there, right, like giving greater value to somebody else's behavior than to my own warmth and my own internal state, I'll say that thought's an attack upon myself, and I come back home. And then what I'll say is I want to see the truth. And as soon as I say that, I start to feel this higher perspective. And we realize that people's behavior is always some form of discomfort for them, always some form of things aren't working out the way they want them to be, some trigger. And when we ask to see that truth, if we're in our alignment and we're in that state where it's readily available to us, we just do. And we realize how impersonal it really is, how not personal it is. And we get to maintain the steadfast alignment that can move us forward. And we can just move forward. And quite often people just come with us and they pull out of those stories. They pull out of all of that nonsense. But if we give it all this value and we attack ourselves with it and we abandon ourselves and we abandon God and we go right into the problem and we're all churned up in it, it just runs our lives. And that's how almost all of us live. And so, yeah, really powerful how these tools just give us that sense of, we can call it sovereignty, but it's really a greater sense of oneness. It's saying, I'm not going to get into this division. I'm not going to get into this us and them, good and bad. I'm actually going to hold a greater truth and bring it to everything that I do and not be thrown off me by somebody else's behavior or things going on in the world, because now I'm contributing to that instead of bringing more love through myself into the world. Great stuff.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody enjoy being blissed out, and
Yeah, I'm
learn to
still there.
stabilize it.
Yeah, I'm still
That's
there.
what we do. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week. We hope you enjoyed listening to today's podcast. And if you did, please subscribe so you can catch the next episode. If you want to learn more about the Aligned Living System and how it could support you in your life, check out davidwaldas.com.